Welcome back to SmackDown vs. Raw 2006. We survived through the Raw season mode long enough to complete it. This time, we'll be doing the same thing with the SmackDown season mode. Let's just hope it goes better. This game is a challenge without any additional rules, but I just have to make things harder, don't I? Let's just reintroduce the rules. Rule 1. We can't use any weapons. Rule 2. We must play on Legend difficulty. Rule 3. We can't force our opponents to get counted out. And Rule 4. We must win at WrestleMania 21 as the WWE Champion. Alright, with that in mind, I'm Dragon DDT, and I hope this run can inspire you to try this season mode on Legend difficulty if you haven't already before. This time, Booker T will be the one to take us to victory because his overall is very similar to Edge. His overall isn't too strong, nor is it too weak, which makes him a good pick. First, we're up against a familiar face in this storyline entitled Tori's Contract. So the SmackDown General Manager Teddy Long was a victim of a hit and run, and like any irrational person, we're gonna play detective instead of calling the police. Awesome. Our first order of business was to low-key accuse RVD of running down Teddy Long as they call it, and that's why we're having this match. If it sounds ridiculous to you, then welcome to the wild world of wrestling. Now that I got the backstory out of the way, I hope you enjoyed the finish of this match after a horrible 8 minutes and 29 seconds. That's definitely not a good way to start this run. This time we're up against Cena because we straight up told him he was a suspect in a case that we, a non-detective, are investigating. He got offended like anyone would, and now we're here. So the reason the first match took so long was because we weren't trying to rely on the turnbuckle strat, which we gave up on halfway through. This match we go for with no remorse. The toughest part of the run becomes clear in this match. We don't have a running grapple to deal body damage like the Spirit rely on, and well, the bookend isn't as reliable as I believe it should be as a finisher. Either that, or Cena is superhuman because he kicks out before the count of 1. What the hell is that? It's a damn shame we couldn't win with our own finisher, so instead, we use his. I'm so offended by that John Cena is now the prime suspect in Teddy's case, for whatever that's worth. So every run has to have a match where we aren't featured as a wrestler, and that has to happen in this one. As usual, this won't factor in with the other matches, so we can go ahead and skip this one. RVD is DQ'd in 51 seconds in case anyone cares. We're fighting RVD and Cena because apparently this feud is now about wanting to impress Tori instead of finding out who killed Teddy. I know the storyline is called Tori's Contract and all, but damn, a man died. Questionable motives aside, let's just try to show these guys into the exposed corners. I gotta say, this is the most rewarding thing in this game. Knowing that it's possible to damage 2 guys at once with little resistance makes me feel so overpowered. I recommend you try it for yourself to feel the rush of power that fills you. I say that because I have to unfortunately reveal some terrible news. We get DQ'd after switching targets to the wrong guy and slamming our leg into the ref's throat. We choose Cena as our partner to take on the Bashams and Orlando Jordan in a handicap match. I'm going to be honest with you, this match takes forever and is impossible to win because these guys break up every pin attempt ever. I swear, there's no way to stop them both from entering the ring at the same time. It drags on for so long that I just want to quit. The funny thing about that is after about 14 minutes of torture, this Basham guy agrees with me. He finally has enough of this bullshit and DQs himself by slamming the ring bell into our face. Thanks a lot for that, guy. Seriously, thanks. RVD stands across from us in this hardcore match. We introduce him into the corner as much as possible to soften him up. At least we beat him with the bookend, unlike last time against Cena. I guess he's just built different. After dealing with the crazy amount of reversals and kicks Rob has to offer, we slam him into the mat with a bookend. We get the pinfall in our shortest time yet, 4 minutes. Orlando is our opponent this time, and he has JBL at ringside. Kinda reminds me of Triple H and Flair actually. Oh yeah, this match takes place on the same night we faced RVD, and that's why we start the match already hurt. Jordan scares us because he has our body in red health in just under 90 seconds, largely because he reverses everything and he uses a turnbuckle that we exposed. Keep in mind, this is a match we have to win in order to face JBL for Tori's contract. Yeah, he had it all along and she didn't know about it for some reason. Orlando plants us with his self-rock bottom. We would have surely lost that if we didn't reverse there. Thank God. The match is tense for a while until we give Jordan the honor of getting pinned after a bookend. I'm kinda surprised JBL didn't interfere, but I'll take it. Vengeance is our first pay-per-view, and this time we have an Iron Man match against JBL for Tori's contract. We score the first pinfall after 9 minutes and 30 seconds after hitting our standing opponent with a Harlem/Houston hangover. It took so long to get the first point because he doesn't like selling our bookend, like Cena. Somehow it actually works. JBL is pinned after using the bookend, though I'm not sure why we aren't using the scissors kick. JBL scores a pinfall after hitting us with a Bret's Rope fallaway slam. It worked for RVD in SmackDown vs. Raw, and it works in this game too. No more points are scored for the duration of this match, so we end up winning, but we do manage to reverse a powerbomb into a DDT that busts him wide open at the very end. We celebrate the win with our new manager, and I just hope Booker's wife isn't watching this pay-per-view. This match with Davey Boy is the first match of the Legends Tour storyline, which we did in the last run. He doesn't prove to be difficult as it takes less than 3 minutes to get his body in the red. The hard part was pinning him, even after giving him a scissors kick. I just don't understand. For some reason, he pins us after a back suplex, and I promise you, I was tapping the buttons as quickly as possible. I don't get this game sometimes. 8 matches in, and we've already lost 2 matches. Unfortunately, we get Bret Hart in a submission match. The most hated match type in this game by me. Here we run into the reason why I want to push this match type off a cliff and into an ocean. No matter how much I mash the buttons, it just doesn't matter. The rest of the attempts were reversed, so let's just show the successful one. Now that it's over, let's get the hell out of here. Much like the last run, we find ourselves in the middle of another famous feud. Instead of Taker and Mankind, this time we're stuck between Shawn and the Hitman. And since this is a triple threat match, you know what time it is, right? It's time to show these guys into the exposed corner. And before you say anything, no, we don't lose this one because of DQ like last time. In fact, we win this by DQ because Shawn gets annoyed with how long this match actually takes. That's the second time that's happened, and I bet you it's not a coincidence. Steve Austin is our partner in this match against The Rock and Hulk Hogan, with Jimmy Hart at ringside again. We take the first half of this match to show Hogan into the exposed corner, destroying his body in the process. Once softened up enough, we tag in Austin and let him take the rest of the match. The finishing sequence comes when The Rock breaks up the chinlock. We head after him because it's clear it's only going to be a matter of time before Austin hits the stunner, and we want to distract Rock, which we do, but take a facebuster on the outside for our meddling. I'll take the win any way I can get it if I'm honest. The 6-man battle royal is here, and as much as I would love to say we did much better this time after having faced it in the last run, we didn't. You'll see what I mean once you get a glimpse at the match time. Nonetheless, Mankind pins Steve Austin after Bret flips him on his back. Yeah, he gets pinned off that, but we can't even get the win after our finisher most matches. What the hell's wrong with that? Bret drops Hogan with a winning edge and The Rock pins him. Bret's assisted in 2 eliminations so far. He better stay the hell away from us. We go to the top rope and hit the Rock and Sock connection with the Harlem/Houston hangover. To make it even better, we pin the Hardcore Legend afterwards. That move is definitely one of the best so far. The match goes almost 7 minutes before the Excellence of Execution is pinned after taking a Samoan drop from the People's Champ. Down to the last 2, it regrettably takes 3 minutes before we are able to get the pinfall win after flattening The Rock with the scissors kick. This match was far longer than it had any right to be. We find the Texas Rattlesnake in a bar, and I'm still not sure why we're beating his ass, but I guess some things never change. Anyways, we use a jukebox like we use a turnbuckle until Austin is hurt enough to take a bookend and stay down for the count of 3. Too bad this match took slightly longer than the last time. Next, we run into Mankind in a parking lot and start fighting him for reasons that are still unknown. We throw him into the truck over and over and over again, and he was kind enough to not reverse any of those. Once sure he had enough, we pin him in the fastest time we've beaten anyone so far. That should make up for the bar fight's slightly lower time. So of course, this triple threat match is to determine who gets the last spot in the Royal Rumble. Our opponents this time will be Paul London and Kurt Angle. First of all, check this out. Instead of constantly running and throwing Kurt into the turnbuckle, we just throw him into it. It's much faster this way, but can also be more dangerous because a reversal could mean getting slammed into the turnbuckle. However, that doesn't happen, and if you're wondering, yes, we did the same exact thing to London. And to make things better, we get a chance to throw them both into the exposed corners. I really wish I knew about this when I first played this game all those many years ago. Nonetheless, the finish comes when we give London the pump handle slam while Kurt Angle just watches from ringside. We pin him and become the last entrant in the Royal Rumble. Thanks, Kurt. The go home show to the Royal Rumble has us in a 6-man over the top rope battle royal match. 90 seconds into it, Rey Mysterio gets thrown out by us only after taking an enormous amount of damage from the turnbuckle throws. As long as they don't reverse, we get free damage all day long. We do the same exact thing to Chavo and dump him out less than 30 seconds after Rey. The next elimination didn't come as quickly as the other two because Charlie Haas actually put up a fight. Well, that and we forgot how to time the reversals properly again. Kurt Angle is the next one dumped out, and it took a bit longer because we tried to play cautious. Someone remind me to never do that again. All it does is just waste time. Anyways, Heidenreich doesn't even last 20 seconds before getting tossed out, giving us the win in 4 minutes and 54 seconds, the same exact time it took us to win this particular match in the last run. Allow me to welcome you to the Royal Rumble match. We made it down to the ring in 19.5 minutes, which is much quicker than the 28 minutes it took in the Raw season mode. I didn't know that was a thing that happened. In my mind, I always just assumed that number 30 comes out the same time for every Rumble. Benoit is the first elimination since we hit the ring, and it comes about a minute after we do so thanks to HBK and Danny Basham. The next man out is Shawn Michaels after Eddie throws him over and gets help from us. Judging by the unchanged speed of the meter when we joined, I don't think we helped at all. Oh well, that doesn't matter because 10 seconds later, Danny Basham is helped over the top rope, and since he's hurt, he can't even hold on. We're left with Eddie and we burn almost 2 minutes critically hurting his body. Afterwards, the softened up legend takes a dive over the top rope. Booker T is going to the WrestleMania main event and we save 11 minutes on that match compared to the last run. We find ourselves in a parking lot with Eddie, and this is the match we lost without even putting up much of a fight in the Raw season mode against JBL. Lucky for us, we had an early parking lot brawl match against Mankind to teach us how to speed through this one. In fact, we win this match 3 seconds faster than the one with Mankind, making this the shortest match so far. This is just great. Why do wrestling moves in a wrestling game when you get more consistent damage just by throwing people into things? Do you remember the Teddy Long storyline that everyone abandoned to focus on Tori's contract? You know, the one where he was hit by a car? Yeah, that one. Apparently we drove the car that slammed into him, which I called bullshit on until Booker T confessed. First of all, don't hit someone with a car. Secondly, if you've gotten this far without being caught by anyone including the police, don't confess to it. Aside from that, we have a steel cage match against JBL as punishment for the felony we committed and confessed to on camera for all the world to see. We take the self-proclaimed wrestling god over to the corner enough times to soften him up for the only way to end a cage match in this game. Escaping cage matches is ridiculous as a concept for babyfaces in reality, but it's the coolest thing for a video game. In this match we face Kurt and have to deal with John Cena as referee. I find it weird that it takes 68 seconds to get Kurt's body into the red, but it takes an additional 5.5 minutes to pin him. Now before anyone thinks that I was just screwing around, let's see what happens when a red-bodied Kurt is hit with the strongest scissor kick we have available. He kicks out before Cena can even make it to his knees. What the hell is that about? How about another example? But this time, let's try the bookend. Surely it will work because it's a finisher that focuses on his body, right? Wrong. The bald asshole kicks out before too. Now we finally put him away with the bookend, but I just wanted to show you how hard I was trying the entire time. We have what was going to be a handicap Hell in a Cell, which we would have no doubt lost. However, Triple H came over to SmackDown to lend us a hand because he believes we don't deserve all these tough matches week after week. I actually agree with him. If Teddy isn't planning on going to the police, then dude, get over it, right? Aside from that, this match is made so easy because of Triple H. The guy is really tough in this game and he keeps Kurt occupied while we deal with Cena. One scissors kick later, and the #1 contender and World Heavyweight Champion beat Teddy Long's goons. Now, if I remember correctly, this is the part of the Raw season mode that Ric Flair pissed me off more than I've ever been pissed off at a video game. Fortunately for me, he's not here and this match really isn't that bad. So we have a 6-man tag match with Triple H and Y2J as our partners against Teddy's boys. With that out of the way, I just want to remind you the rule says that I can't force any countouts, okay? We win by countout in this one, but I want you to take notice that it's Triple H that caused that to happen. We just stand there and watch. Also, I want to note that it takes the referee 26 seconds to count to 10. He starts his count at 11 minutes and 26 seconds and ends at 12:02. Okay. So we have a triple header, and in the first match we face off against Kurt Angle in a submission match because Teddy Long hates me personally. This match lasts 15 minutes, which makes me think that whatever time lead this run might have had over the other, it's dead and gone now. Anyways, we learned the painful lesson that the submission matches never needed to be as long as they were. We could have always focused on the body and get the win with the elevated half crab. That would have made this so much easier if only I knew. That's a damn shame. Next we take on JBL in a first blood match. Firstly, our entire body is in rough shape, and much like the parking lot brawl from the Raw run, there's no way to beat this guy. We only got his head into yellow because he reversed everything we did. If this were any other match, I still don't think it would have ended differently. WrestleMania 21 has finally arrived. We have a standard singles match against the WWE Champion John Cena, and for good luck, we brought Tori with us. I assumed this match would be easy because of the match type, but then I remembered we're facing John Cena, and he's superhuman. He reverses so much, it makes me sick. The only good thing about this match is the scissors kick we use to score the pinfall. Other than that, it's a train wreck, and I'm actually glad it's over. Sorry for leaving this off on such a bad note, but this game is infuriating. Now let's put it to bed by checking out some stats. Out of 25 matches, we won 22 and lost 3. The shortest match time was 1 minute and 4 seconds against Eddie Guerrero in the parking lot brawl. The longest match was 23 minutes and 10 seconds in the Royal Rumble match. The average time for each match was 8 minutes and 44 seconds, which means the total time from bell to bell was 3 hours, 38 minutes and 20 seconds, shaving off 46 minutes and 34 seconds from our overall time of 4 hours, 18 minutes and 54 seconds. Now to compare between the two shows. Both shows have the same number of matches, despite the SmackDown run having one less match. That's only because we lost the second match of the triple header. If you count the last match too, that means both shows have 26 matches. The only reason I didn't count it is because I have no time to record for a match that didn't happen. If I had to choose which run was faster, I'd say neither of them. The only reason the Raw season mode got a better time was because I was far better with Edge than Booker. Edge has a spear as a running grapple which got us many victories, whereas Booker T had to rely on other moves that weren't as nice to us. With that said, I hope you enjoyed this video and let me know what you think of my findings in this game. I'm sure there will be some who believe that one show is actually faster than the other, and if so, let me know why you feel that way. And also, make sure to join me for whatever comes next.